You know that feeling, right? You hit a huge setback and it feels like a brick wall just appeared out of nowhere. But what if that wall was actually a doorway? Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful idea from Stoic philosophy, one that can teach you how to reframe every single failure, turning those painful obstacles into your greatest source of fuel.
Yeah, that feeling. We all know it. It's that gut punch of disappointment. Maybe it's a project rejection like this one, maybe a relationship ends, maybe an injury completely messes up your goals. Whatever it is, that failure can feel absolutely crushing. But, a Stoic would say, this is just the beginning.
Okay, so before we can get to the solution, we have to be really honest about the problem. And the problem, well, it's our hardwired, knee-jerk reaction to things going wrong.
When we face a setback, our brain pretty much goes into this predictable spiral. First, you get angry, you get frustrated. Then, the self-pity kicks in, that why me feeling. That makes us feel like a victim, and from there, it's a short jump to just wanting to quit altogether. But the most dangerous part? This whole emotional fog makes us completely blind to any possible opportunity that might be hiding inside that failure.
But this is where the Stoics come in, and they just flip the entire script. They offer a radical mindset shift that turns that whole negative reaction completely on its head.
See, the Stoics believed that challenges are not punishments. They're not these random, unfair events that are out to get you. Nope. They are the raw material for building strength. The obstacle isn't blocking your path. The obstacle is the path forward.
Of course, I know what you're thinking. That is so much easier said than done. And you're right. We resist this idea because facing challenges is hard. It takes courage. It takes patience right now. It's way more tempting to look for the easy way out, thinking that's where success is. But the Stoics, they knew that was a really dangerous illusion.
There's this fantastic quote from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus that just hits the nail on the head. He saw misfortune not as some catastrophe, but as a workout, literally a training ground for our character.
And this illustrates that perfectly. Think about it. If you're always on the easy path, it's like you're fighting pillows. Yeah, you're avoiding any real resistance, you're staying comfortable, but you're not getting any stronger. The obstacle, on the other hand, that's like stepping into the ring with a real opponent. That's the resistance you need to forge real strength, real resilience, and real character.
So, this all leads to a massive shift in perspective. The second you stop asking, why is this happening to me, and you start asking, what is this preparing me for, well, that's the exact moment that failure starts to turn into fuel.
Now, it's one thing to understand all this philosophically, but it's a whole other thing to actually apply it when you're feeling overwhelmed and emotional. That's why the Stoics didn't just have ideas. They had a practical framework, a set of questions to help you regain control and find the opportunity in all the chaos.
And here they are, 3 simple but incredibly profound questions to ask yourself the next time you face a major setback. So let's break each one of these down. The first question is designed to pivot you away from feeling sorry for yourself. Instead of getting stuck on how unfair everything is, you ask, what character trait does this moment demand from me? Let's say you lost money. Okay, this is a chance to practice temperance, to be more disciplined. If someone betrayed you, it's an opportunity to practice forbearance, maybe even forgiveness. The point is, the event itself becomes a training ground to actively build your character.
Second, you have to focus on what's actually in your power. This is the classic Stoic dichotomy of control. Look, the event itself, it's external. It's in the past, you can't change it. But your reaction, that's internal. And it's happening right now, and it is 100% under your control. The Stoics would say the only true failure is a moral one, reacting with despair or bitterness or hate. And finally, you look for the reward. You have to. Every bit of resistance forces you to build a new skill. Getting laid off forces you to get way better at networking. A physical injury forces you to develop incredible patience. A failed business teaches you resilience like nothing else. Your job is to identify that new strength, because that skill is the permanent prize you get to keep forever. So when you start to practice this consistently, something pretty profound starts to happen. It's not just about managing setbacks a little better, it's about fundamentally changing how you see yourself and how you see the world. You shift from having this kind of fixed self, one that's defined by your wins and losses and is terrified of failure, to a malleable self. This is a person who understands that their true potential is unlocked by resistance. They start to see failure not as some terrible ending, but as the raw material for building what the Stoics called an inner citadel,
an unshakable fortress of inner strength.
And that's really the ultimate goal here. You literally rewire your brain to the point where you don't dread obstacles anymore. You actually start to anticipate them, maybe even welcome them, because you know for a fact that on the other side of that challenge is a stronger, more capable version of you.
And the very things you once thought were your biggest defeats, those moments that you thought might actually break you, they get transformed. They become the powerful fuel that's going to propel you toward all your future success and wisdom.
So I'll leave you with this question. Think about a challenge in your life right now. Instead of asking why it's happening, try asking yourself this: what is this obstacle preparing me for? What new strength is it trying to build in me? Because the answer to that question, well, that's where your growth begins.